So hi everyone, this is Sarah, the owner of Sycamores, so the property we're selling. Obviously it's a great idea to sort of get an understanding from the current owner, maybe a few questions you'd be asking, we can try and get answers here and see what you think, so let's go. So Sarah, thanks for joining us. So how long have you owned the property?
Just over 11 years.
Wow, long time.
Yeah, it was a great choice.
Mm-hmm. And how long, well, I suppose, yeah, so you lived in it yourself, obviously, you bought it yourself. How long did you live there yourself?
Well, I was there 7 years.
Okay.
I've been renting it out nearly 4.
Yep, good. And you rented it quite easily?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I suppose it's very central and everything like that. Okay. So what have you enjoyed most about living there?
Well, it was such a win. I kind of bought it by mistake because I was trying to buy my first flat, trying to buy something in budget, and I didn't know anything about Seven Dials when I bought it. It was just what I could afford.
Yes.
And it ended up being like one of the best decisions I've made. Yeah, I really counted my blessings, which is why I stayed there so long.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I sort of came to it. I was buying it in winter, and I sort of looked at the outside of it, and I was like, you know, I didn't fall in love with that. And I remember being shown round, and the estate agent saying at the time to me, "Oh, well, of course, the benefit of buying here is that you haven't got any neighbours, sort of, you know, above or either side of you." Which just hadn't occurred to me.
Yes,
but I was coming from a flat where I was sort of on the ground floor, and I had neighbours either side, and two different neighbours above, and I was so that mattered to me. It doesn't matter to everybody, but that was a massive selling point because I lived there sort of noise free. You know, to be that central.
Yes.
But to not have the aggro of sort of, you know,
people walking above you and
that, you know, or either side. You know, it's a kind of a strange standalone building. You know, in the middle, literally the middle of Seven Dials.
Yes, yeah.
And it's the sort of thing you couldn't have anticipated. So I think I really enjoyed weirdly the peace.
Yes.
You know, even having, you know, didn't have a garden, and that's, you know, what I would have loved. But at that time, you had, you know, the greenery out the back. You had the tree, the sycamores tree out the front, which again is something that you just don't think about.
No,
I got a lot of joy from sitting there with the windows open.
Yes, yeah.
With the birds tweeting around, and you know. It's east to west facing, so you'd have the sun streaming in at the front in the morning and the sun streaming in at the back of the evening. And that it's not everyone's jam, but I really, really appreciate light and natural
Fantastic,
light.
of course. So I mean, it is very bright.
Yeah.
So just to cover on that, so it's top floor, and you've got, so obviously no one above you, you've got no one at the side of you either, and also you've got the loft space. Which you don't own, but you have access to for storage and everything like that. I mean, I suppose coming onto storage, it's got a lot of storage space, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that everyone, you know, when you're buying a flat, you don't normally get any, but it's got a huge inbuilt cupboard behind the bathroom, which housed, you know, you know, everything you could imagine, and then having sole access to the loft was such a win.
Well, the other thing I noticed is as you come into the flat, as you'll see, if you guys will probably see the 360 tour, and you'll see it for yourself when you come. But the hallway, so you walk in, you've got this big hallway, then big wide stairs going up, which is all yours, which I think does make it really feel spacious.
It does, and I think particularly when you're buying a flat, often they're conversions. Mm-hmm. But with being a purpose built and having that access on the sort of, I guess you'd call it a mezzanine.
Yes,
you're coming in. So you're coming in on the first floor, but then you own the sort of walkway to the second floor. And that gave a real sense of, because I shared it, I had a lodger and I had Airbnb for a lot of the time, and it ended up being a flat that was able to do that because it gave you a sense of privacy.
Yes.
You know, someone wasn't just walking straight into the living
Absolutely,
room.
yes,
You sort of come in. It gave a lot of room for. It's where I kept all my coats and shoes. So it felt like, you know, there was that kind of space before you sort of entered.
It makes a big difference.
And then I love photos, so I had a whole wall of photos going up. You know, having that wall space. It's just little the livability of it. It's little things like that.
Great. I mean, and Seven Dials itself, I'm sure you guys have looked at Seven Dials. It's pretty amazing. You couldn't really be any more in the heart of Seven Dials, could you? Or closer to the station. So how long does it take you to walk to Brighton Station?
6-minute walk.
6-minute walk.
I've got long legs, but I commuted to London a lot.
Yes.
Again, one of the reasons I was buying in that area, not knowing anything about it, was I had to be walking distance to the station, and I needed to be able to have a car because my job meant that I was on the road and up in London. And I guess that's why I stayed so long, because I couldn't find anything to compete. You know, how far would you have to go to get a parking space, and you know, to never have to get on I didn't ever have to get on a bus.
No, that is very nice.
Never have to get a taxi anywhere. I really hammered it down those hills a few times to catch the train, and never missed a train.
Great. So on the parking, so there are 3 communal spaces outside, which are on a first come, first served basis.
Yeah, there's 4 communal spaces.
Right.
It's unallocated, so it's just when you buy the property, you're buying the right to park.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And you can also get a parking permit as well.
You can apply for a parking permit. It's Y-zone.
Great. Okay. Fine. And so I suppose who do you think would, so people look at your property to purchase, what sort of person would it suit, do you think?
Well, I mean, I bought it when I was late 20s, and I lived, as I said, I lived there in all sorts of different situations, but particularly good for sharing.
Yeah.
If that's
well, I suppose working from home as well these days.
Well, yeah, I mean, the current tenants are a couple, and they're using one of the rooms as an office, but they're both double rooms.
Yeah.
And what again I really liked about the purpose-built aspect of it was that the rooms are opposite ends.
Yes, absolutely.
So you haven't got that sort of,
you're not on top of each other. Yes,
between two bedrooms, and so the soundproofing, because it's purpose-built, it's really solid. The rooms are sort of far away from each other. You've got the bathroom with the separate toilet. One of the things I always thought I'd do was update the bathroom, but at the same time I was going to knock the wall down to make it a larger bathroom. But actually, in the end, it's a blessing to not be queuing up. Someone's in the bathroom, and then there's so that works.
Well, I also think if anyone ever wanted to update the bathroom, there's probably enough room, because that bath is massive, to put
Very
another loo in there.
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, so if you like a good corner bath, this is certainly the flat for you. Well, look, Sarah, thank you very much for your time today and giving us some insight into the property. Guys, if you've got any questions, obviously you want to come and see it, please give me a call. And we shall report back to Sarah once everyone's seen it. So thanks very much for watching. Sarah, thank you for your time.
No worries.
And speak to you soon.